Yo, yo, yo. We are back with another one. In Ski's opinion, with your gracious and humble host, Ski. I want to ask you all to like, subscribe, follow the channel, uh, comment. Like I said again, like, so you can help this video get into the algorithm and speak on people seeing what we got going on here. So, my first, sorry, hold on 1 second. All right, clap behind the business. Same time, so my first subject on the show will be Tony Yayo, Jimmy Jones, and Meek Mills. He said Meek Mill. I don't know where that could come to the right, but Memphis Bleek. Back and forth over who takes care of who more. So this is a conversation or beef or riff going back and forth between grown men talking about other grown men taking care of them. So you got Tony Yayo on Club Shay Shay. Club Shay Shay is back even now. That's some pretty decent interviews. But anyway, Club Shay Shay, and he speaks on how 50 takes care of him better than Jay-Z took care of Memphis Bleek, or take care of Memphis Bleek. 50 brings him out to all of these shows that he's been doing, taking them all over the world, giving them a big look, and he's saying that Jay hasn't done anything to help Bleek as far as pushing his situation. Well, Bleek came back with a response which I thought was actually dope. I would say was truthful. Like he hold no need to take care of me, right? Hold don't have to. He's like the big homie, look out for me, when y'all don't see me and I'm up in the air and I'm all the way away from you guys looking down, that's whole budget. He was like, but when y'all see me in the crowd and out here mingling amongst everybody, that's Bliss budget. And I respected that. Him said that because what are we talking about? We're talking about two men who are talking, well, we're talking about a man talking about another man taking care of him and how he do what. So, Yayo came back and he like, well, 50 took off for me and this and that, but I do my own thing too. I eat my own halal. That's what he said. I eat my own halal. I eat my own halal too because I just came off of my own tour, my own road trip. The Swiss Alps and Germany and this and that. I just did that myself. I'm just saying, that 50 looked out for me better. No disrespect. I even got to bring up Jim Jones, so he pulled Jim into it. Stack Bundles, rest in peace, Stack Bundles. That's my man. Yeah, rest in peace, Stack. He's very dope. When he said he was in a Porsche, but he was in the projects. How you gonna have a nigga in a Porsche in projects, And he died there. I'm trying to do my Tony Yayo face, but and he died there, 50 had me in Battery Park. I can walk outside barefoot in that bitch. Nothing's gonna happen to me. Well, I would have to speak on to say you still bragging on what another man doing for another man. And what did Jim have to do? He catch a strike. for no reason. You spoke on Bleek, but then you bring Jim in there because I think Jim had a problem with you when he came on Meek's show and he mentioned some stuff. So you throw a shot at Jim. Are you gonna put Jim and 50 on the same level as far as what they can do for somebody? I would say that is super impressive of Jim being able to get stacks of Porsche. And I don't really feel like it's nobody's responsibility to make sure someone gets out of the projects or have a place to stay. I'll give you the opportunity. You got to make sure you do that. Why he buy a Porsche? Why he didn't get an apartment or a spot in Jersey instead of getting a Porsche? Porsche. I mean, probably $100,000 car. He could have got him a nice spot for that. And didn't have to be in the hood. So I just saying that to say this is that it's ugly and it's very childish, for you guys to do that. And it looks bad on, guys who 40 plus to be going back and forth over who took care of who as grown men. And at that age, y'all were grown. And these grown men was looking out. 50 did what he did for you guys. And Jay did what he did for them guys. Jones did what he can do for his people. Nothing wrong with it, but I don't think it's something that you should brag on. When you said you just toured Germany and the South Alps and all of that, I would be bragging more on that than me pushing what 50 doing. Grateful and gracious for what 50 doing for you, but dude, you have to make sure you take care of business on your own, because that's only going to work for so long. How many times do you think he's going to go on tour and take you on a road trip? That was his whole complaint about him even busting up G-Unit was you guys not standing on your own. Everything is relying on him to do it for you. So I'm just saying, we got to do better, as grown men in this system and in society, that we have to do better. And we should not be bragging on another grown man taking care of. Just not, I don't want to say gangster. That ain't gangster, I would say, okay, that ain't gangster, But yeah, I wouldn't do it. So I'm gonna let that situation go. I just had to speak on it because in my opinion, it just seemed very petty and de-rapperish, of other grown men. But it is what it is. Next topic I want to touch on is my man Corey Holcomb, 5150 show, right? I really respect Corey, I like everything that my brother is doing. Fellow Chicago native. Corey get a lot of, what I'm gonna say, real N-word equity with me, right? Because he says what others think but won't say. He speaks out in a way that you can look at the situation as is hating, but really isn't, if it's true, right? So I want to bring up the situation I heard. I was watching his show, the other day, and he brought up how Martin Lawrence is trash, right? He said probably one of the worst stand-up comedians that's out there today. And that Martin, health failing is affecting his stand-up, If you go see him, he said it's trash. He's like the brother of the shell of himself. Everybody jumped on the bandwagon and said, Corey was hating. And he was disrespectful for saying that about Martin. Well, excuse me. I'm going to say, I don't say hate, Like I said, it's hard to dispute that when it's the truth. Is it the truth? Sounds like it could be some truth to it, Did it need to be said? That's neither here nor there. And it's not for me to decide if he should have said it or not, right? It's his opinion. Corey can say what he wants. So I didn't see hate though. I did listen to the whole thing, and Corey said that like I think that these promoters and everything are taking advantage of our brother when he's in a situation that it's not him who he was in the '90s and with his movies like he was kicking, hey, which he was. He was like, but as of now, what they said, I think Martin had a stroke or something like that, like that these people kind of taking advantage